welcome to another lawnfawn video. Today we are so excited to be introducing our brand new paper collection, All the Sparkles. We're also going to be introducing some brand new washi tape with our Winter Village and Christmas Ornaments washi tapes. We're also going to take a look at our brand new 3-dimensional star treat box. This die is so cool. And we're going to check out our brand new stamp set, How You Bean Pickle add-on, its coordinating dies and its coordinating coloring stencils. This pickle add-on is perfect for our How You Bean jar, and the cards with this turned out so cute. So let's go ahead and check everything out. We're going to start off by looking at the All the Sparkles collection. Here we have these papers in 6x6 and 12x12, and we're going to take a look at the 12x12 first. We have the 12x12 in a collection pack, and it has 2 of each of the papers for a total of 12 papers. If there's a paper you particularly love, you can also get a pack of 12 of just one design. And here is a look at these papers. This is our ruby paper, and you can see that it has the most beautiful sparkle and shine on the front, and then this great tone-on-tone stripe on the back. This is jade, and I absolutely love that gold foil. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. And then of course our tone-on-tone stripe on the back. Then here we have our tourmaline paper, and this color is just absolutely gorgeous. It's kind of in between a green and a blue, and it's just so pretty. And of course these awesome stripes on the back. Next up we have our aquamarine paper, and this blue is so beautiful, and I love the gold stars on it. And of course we have our tone-on-tone stripes on the back. And then our next paper is our diamond paper, and this paper is so beautiful. It's white with gold stars, and what I love about having this paper is it's great just like this, especially for kind of like a snowy background, but you can also ink blend over it, and then those gold stars will peek through your ink blending in such a beautiful way. And of course that neutral tone-on-tone stripe on the back is amazing. And then this is our onyx paper. This is perfect for night skies, for beautiful Christmas skies, for Halloween skies. You can use it for so many different things, and I love that neutral stripe too. I love having those neutral stripes. It's just the perfect background, and you can see how you can mix and match all of these colors with both the gold sparkle that we have on the A side and that gorgeous tone-on-tone on the B side. Now here is our awesome 6x6 pad, and this pad has the designs reduced by about 50%, and we have 3 of each of the designs in this pack for a total of 36 sheets. And I love the smaller print with the gold foil. It is just so pretty, and those stripes are so awesome. I love having the options of having either the larger print or the smaller print depending on what look I'm going for, and these papers are just so beautiful in the 6x6 pad. And then here I just wanted to show you a comparison between the 12x12 paper and the 6x6 paper so that you can see the difference in the scale. So here we have our beautiful sparkly stars, and then I also wanted to show you a comparison to the stripes as well. And so you can see depending on your project you might want the bigger stars or the smaller stars, or the bigger stripes or the smaller stripes. We have 2 brand new washi tapes, and this is our Christmas Ornaments washi tape, and it is so cute. I love those colorful ornaments, and it's perfect for adding onto wrapped gifts or putting on your envelopes as you mail your holiday cards in the mail. And oh my goodness, I mean, look at those. They're just so cute. I love the mixture of the ornaments and how they overlap. And then next up we have our Winter Village. I love the sky. It's like this beautiful gradient. It almost looks like the northern lights in the background. And then this little Winter Village is just so sweet. I love the little snowman that are in there too. And I just love these so much. I add them onto tags. I add them onto my Christmas presents. I put them on my envelopes. I also really like to layer them on the inside of my cards to make the inside of the card feel special too. Now it's time to take a look at our star treat box, and this die is so cool because it creates a 3-dimensional star-shaped box that you can fill with treats or turn into an ornament. The die creates both embossed score lines and also these little embossed X's, and those X's are a guide as to where you're going to put your adhesive. You can see that those embossed score lines there on the die are creating little triangles, and some of those triangles have those little embossed X's. So inside each of those triangles that has an embossed X, you're going to add your nice strong adhesive, and we're going to use some 1/4-inch double-sided tape. And so essentially wherever you see a little X, cover it up with some nice strong tape and you'll be good to go. And so that's what we're going to do here. Once we have all of those X's covered up with the double-sided tape, we're going to start working on these score lines. And typically on a score line, you would fold it and crease it with your bone folder. In this case, we're going to be doing something a little different. So you can see those score lines there, and you can kind of see where that star shape is going to be. And we are just going to gently go along those score lines and fold them just gently. You can see we're just kind of bending the paper back a little bit, but not folding it completely flat. And we're just going to work our way around this star box, folding back gently along those lines. And as you fold along those lines, you're going to start to see the star shape form on the box. Now that we've gently kind of coaxed those different score lines back, we can start to form the actual shape of the box. And so you'll see as you really start to push back along those score lines, you're going to start to see the points of the star form, and it's going to kind of pucker in the middle just like that. And that's going to give you your star box shape. And then you're going to work your way around this doing the same thing. So as you press on that score line, it's going to just kind of naturally pucker there in the middle, and that's exactly what you want to happen. And see that star shape that's starting to form? That's really cool. And so we're just going to work our way around the star box and continuing to do the same thing. So we're just going to kind of press along those score lines, and you'll see that they're going to kind of pucker in the center. Even in the center of the box, it's going to do that just a little bit. And now we're really starting to see that star shape form. And now we'll just work to the other side of the star box doing the same thing. So as we press back along those score lines, we're going to get the puckering in the middle, and that's going to create the points of your star shape. Then we're going to go back towards the center of the box and just kind of press down in the center to create that same puckering kind of look that we had on the outside edges, and you'll see that really makes the star shape form on either side of the box. And then the next thing that we need to do is just remove all of the liner paper on all of the adhesive that we added earlier. This star box kind of has two stars, right? This is going to be the front and the back of our box, but it looks like there's two sides to this thing. And so the next step we need to do is connect these two sides. So we're going to hold this up so that there's kind of like this big open V in the center. And then we're going to push the two sides towards each other to help start to form the box. So you can see as we push it towards each other, those triangles kind of line up with each other, and then you can press down and secure that adhesive. Then we can start working our way around the rest of the box. So we're just going to press in again and connect the two sides. And you'll see how those triangles are just going to line right up with each other, and it's starting to form the points of the star. Then we can go ahead and continue to work our way around the box. So we're just going to go this way here, and then we're going to push down and secure that part onto the box just like that. And then our last bit here is the opening of the treat box. You can see it has these little thumb notches, so it makes it easier to open. And now we have formed this three-dimensional box that is so super cute. It's that easy to do, and I love that with one pass through the die cut machine, you get this super cool three-dimensional box that opens up in such an awesome way, and you can really fit a lot of treats inside. You can put Hershey's Kisses like we're going to do here. Little mini candy canes fit inside. I also often buy gift cards online for people, the ones that you just print out. And so this is a really cute way to make it feel a little more special. So you can print it out and fold it up and put it inside of the star box and do that. Now this star box is so cute for the holidays, but really you can use it for all year round. We'll show you a cute birthday version of one in just a little bit. So let's start creating a star box. And so here we're going to die cut some Spiffy or Speckles paper, and it has this really nice neutral kind of splatter pattern, and we're going to be using that. And this is something really cool that Elena discovered on the design team. I didn't even realize this at first, but our Magic Messages stamp sets fit inside the center of the star. Here are our Magic Holiday messages, but we also have Magic Spring messages, our standard Magic messages that have a ton of different phrases for different holidays and occasions. And you can stamp any of these in the center of the star. And so here we're going to stamp this Deck the Halls, which is so super cute. And then I'm just going to take my markers and just add a little bit of detail to this stamp. So I'm just going to fill in the little berries with some red, and then I'm going to take a light green marker and just go over all of those little kind of holly leaves or pine boughs there on our little stamps just to make it feel a little special. I also think that you could heat emboss this phrase and it would look super, super cute on this star too. And then now that we have our stamping done, we can start to form our star just like we did before. And so I'm going to go ahead and start folding along those score lines on the star box, kind of just like we did earlier. And you can see as I fold back along those lines, that puckering starts to happen in the center where the points of the star start to form. And so there you can see I can just kind of press it back, and I've already got one of my points of my star forming. Then I'm going to work my way around the star box, forming more of the points of the star. By pressing back along those score lines, that little pucker is going to start to form, and I'll start to have that really cool star shape. So I've kind of done one side of the star box, and now I can start moving on to the other one. And so we're going to do that bottom point there, and then we're going to work our way all around this cute little box. And we're just going to press back and see that puckering start to happen. And these are kind of relaxing to make because you just work your way around, keep folding along those lines, and it's going to look awesome. Now we have those little X's that have been embossed into the box by the die, and that's where we're going to put our nice strong adhesive. And we're going to use some 1/4-inch double-sided tape, and we're just going to cover up all of those little triangles that happen to have those little X's. And so there's going to be 6 of those on the box, and we're going to work our way around the box and fill those in. Then we can peel up the liner paper on all of those adhesive strips that we added. And once we have those all peeled up, we can start to form the box. And just like we looked at it earlier, we have two sides to the box and that kind of V in the middle. We're going to connect that together. So we're going to start at that open V there, and we're going to push the two sides together until they meet. And then once they meet, we can go ahead and press down and secure the first edge of our star box together. Then we can work our way around the box. So we're going to go ahead and just start pushing in all of the edges of the box and then lining them up and then just pressing down onto the adhesive. And I put my fingers inside of the box so that I can make sure to have it really attach well. Then I'm going to work to my other end of my star box, and I'm going to press down. And now the open end is the part of the box where you can open up and add your treats inside. And look how cute this star is with the Deck the Hall stamped on it. It's absolutely adorable. And here you can see how you could fill this super cute box filled with those little mini candy canes. And so I was amazed at how many of these little mini candy canes could fit inside of this box. It's such a cute way to present someone with a little treat. I think it's adorable. It'd be really fun to make for coworkers or for treats for a kid's class. It's just adorable. But I thought it would be fun to turn this thing into an ornament. So you could actually, of course, have it be an ornament filled with candy canes, but I'm going to pull the candy canes out and we're going to work on making this into an ornament. And so the first thing that we need is some string. So I'm going to take out some gold sparkle lawn trimmings. And I love this because it has this beautiful gold sparkle, and it's also made out of hemp. So it's a really nice, strong string. And so I'm just kind of seeing about how long my string should be, and then I can just trim that down. And then what we're going to do is just tie a knot at the end of this. So there's a loop there, and we're just going to do a little overhand knot right here at the bottom. And you want it to be a nice thick knot because that's what's going to help hold it in our star box. Now we're going to be adding this in this way. You could also poke a hole in the top of the box and do it that way, but I thought this was nice and easy. So we're just going to add this little string right in there so that the knot is inside the box and the string is coming out of the top of the star. And then all you need to do is close those edges, and it's going to hold it in place. And so what we're going to do is we're going to actually permanently close this so that it's just an ornament. So what I need to do is add some more strong double-sided adhesive on the inside of that little flap there. And we're going to add those both in there, and then we can just peel up the liner paper. And then we're going to take that string and again add it into the top of the star where the knot is on the inside of the box, and that's what's going to help hold it in place. And then when we close that last opening to the star box, that adhesive is going to hold the whole thing in place and create this really cute ornament that would be such a sweet gift. I think it'd be fun to have a little mini Christmas tree just filled with these adorable stars. I mean, oh my gosh, that is just too cute. Now, this box by Elena was even more adorable because she added some fun little die cut elements onto it. So I decided to kind of shop my fun Christmas stash and see what I could find. And we have this brand new Christmas stocking die, and it has these little bells that can hang off the stocking. And I thought these bells would look super cute on this star box. And then our Build-a-Birdhouse has a Christmas add-on, and that has some really cute little greenery and pine cones, and so we're going to be using those. And again, you could find like a little bow in your stash or other cute Christmassy things, and we're going to start layering these pieces together. And so those little jingle bells there have a little hole in the top of them. And so we're going to fit the string through. And then I'm just adding a drop of liquid glue to the back of the bell to help hold that in place. And we've die cut the bell from some gold foil cardstock so that it really looks like a cute little jingle bell. Although it would be really cute to add actual jingle bells to these ornaments too. And so we're going to do the same thing for the next one. We're going to feed the string through the hole in the top of the bell and then just add a little drop of liquid glue to hold those in place. And then I die cut the greenery and the pine cone out of some white cardstock, and I'm just going to add color with my markers. You can see I'm really just kind of scribbling on the darker green, blending it out with the light, and I'm going to do the same thing on the pine cone. So I'm just going to scribble on a darker brown and then just scribble it out with the lighter brown. And the unevenness of it, I think, just makes it look really, really pretty. Next, we're going to add some liquid glue to the top of the bow that's holding onto the jingle bells, and we're just going to glue that right to the top of the star box. And I like that it looks like the string for the ornament is kind of holding those jingle bells in place. I just think that's adorable. And then we're going to take some more of the greenery and the pine cone and we're going to layer those together. And I ended up making 2 pine cones, but I only needed 1, so I'll save the other one for another project. But I'm just going to layer the greenery behind the pine cone with some glue from my glue tube, and then we can take that whole piece and layer that onto the top of our star box. And now this cute little box is all done. Isn't this just adorable? I love that you can stamp any of the magic messages into the center of the star box, and adding those cute little die cut elements makes it so pretty as an ornament. And I wanted to show you a comparison to some other ornaments that I made. I made this in the Build a Fox video, and they are so cute. And I thought this was a fun little trio. So we have our cute fox and bunny dressed up for the holidays, and then we have the cute little ornament with the Deck the Halls on it. And I think this would be such a fun gift to give to someone. And if you want to see how I made those other little star boxes, make sure to check out that intro video. I will link it in the description below. And then last but not least, I wanted to show you a little trick. So I didn't put quite enough adhesive in there and it was popping up a little bit, but that's no big deal. I'm just going to go in and add a little bit of liquid glue to help secure any edges that might be popping up because I didn't add enough of my 1/4-inch double-sided tape, and that does the trick just like that. So I'm just going to press that down and hold it in place so that it can dry, and you'll see that now it's going to look perfect. So you ever have an edge that's popping up a little, just add a little liquid glue and it's going to make it look so beautiful. And oh my gosh, I can't wait to give this to someone. It's just so cute and fun. And so one of the things that I love about this star box is that it could be for any occasion. So I'm going to die cut this from some beautiful plaid paper. I love this rainbowy plaid. It's so adorable. And we're going to make this star box just like we did before. So it's got its embossed lines. Miles is going to show us those there. And then it's got those little X's where we're going to add our adhesive. And so we're going to bend back along those embossed score lines until we find that little pucker there that's going to happen in between that's going to help start to form the points of our star box. Then I did the same thing, working my way all around the box until we have all of those star points starting to form. And then we can take some nice strong double-sided adhesive and we're going to add it over all of those areas that have that little embossed X. And then here I have my fabulous helper Miles that's going to help me remove all of the liner paper on all of that adhesive. And he's helping me make this box today because we are going to be giving this box to one of his friends for his birthday. So we're going to go ahead and peel up all of that liner paper, and then we're going to start to form the box. So we're going to look at that kind of big open V there, and we're going to press the 2 sides of the box together until they line up, and then we can press down and that adhesive is going to hold the point of the star in place. And then we can start to work our way around the rest of the box there, starting to form all of those points. So we're going to line up those pieces there, and then we're going to go ahead and press down, and then we can work our way around to the other side and press down on that too. Once I got to the last part, which is the area with the little notches, I closed those, and actually it was Miles that pointed out my mistake, and I had forgotten to push in one side of the box, but it's a super easy fix. So I wanted to show you how I did it. So all you need to do is just push in at the bottom, and I kind of helped guide it there with my finger on the inside of the box, and I was able to form that one there. So if you ever put your box together and one of the points isn't formed, you can just press and it's going to work perfectly. And look at that. Look how adorable this is. It is so cute and so perfect for a birthday. And since this is a birthday star, I'm going to take out the Cake It Easy stamp set, and I went ahead and stamped and colored both a cake and also a number 4 candle since our recipient is turning 4. And so I'm just going to take some liquid glue and I'm going to add the 4 to the top of the cake, and then I'm just going to layer the cake onto the center of the star. And I love that you could take any cute stamped image and put it in the center of the star. A cute little mouse, this awesome cake, any of your favorite characters are going to look adorable on the center here. And so I'm just going to add some liquid glue and layer that right into the center of the star. And I think this is just so cute and sweet. I think it could be fun too to even personalize with the recipient's name too. And then, of course, we can fill it with cute little treats. I happen to have these little hard candies, although I laughed later that they may not be the best candy for a 4-year-old, so I'll definitely change up the candy once we get to actually giving it to our friend. But look how sweet this is. We can fill it up with candies, and then we can go ahead and close the end and give it to the recipient to help make them smile. I also love how easy it is to take the treats out of the box and how the box is still super cute even without the treats inside of it, because you can form the edge of the box again just by pushing in the sides, and now you just have a fun little decoration that would be so cute on a mantle. So now we're going to take a look at our How You Bean Pickle add-on stamp set, and we're going to first stamp out this adorable set. And of course we have our big pile of pickles, and then we have an individual pickle, and then we have all these cute little faces that you can stamp into the pickles. And once you stamp the faces in there, oh my gosh, this is just too funny and too cute. And so I'm going to stamp the different styles of faces onto the different pickles, and you can see that they are just so cute to mix and match together. I also love that there's kind of like a little annoyed face, and you can add that one to the pickles that are kind of squished in the center. I think that's hilarious. We also have this little stamp that can help you add extra little details onto the pickles. So if you didn't want to do faces or you wanted to have a little bit more details onto them, you can stamp that onto there too. And then we have some really fun mix and match sentiments. So we have a delightful holiday or have a delightful day. And then you can also write "You're kind of a big deal," which is really fun and cute. And then also "I relish our friendship," which is one of my favorites of the sentiments. We also have some mini phrases: "This is a big deal," and "You pickle my fancy." And then we also have "Sorry you're in a pickle." Then we have the phrase pickles that's going to mix and match with our How You Bean stamp set. So this is our original How You Bean set. It has the cute little mason jar and a little label where you can stamp the pickles in that. And you can also stamp the pickles directly into the jar, or you can die cut them and layer them into the jar. And I love the How You Bean stamp set because there are so many cute and fun things that you can add into the jar. The original set has jelly beans, but we have all these fun add-ons like peppermints and stars and conversation hearts. And now we have these adorable pickles. And right now I am adding some color with my Copic markers, but you could use any markers in your stash, colored pencils, watercolors, or even the coloring stencils that I'll show you in just a little bit. I really like this combination of greens. I just think it's so bright and happy. And with the darkest green, I'm even adding some little dots onto the pickle just to add some extra texture. Now these pickles are so cute for year round, but we wanted to come out with them during the holiday because there's that fun tradition of hiding a pickle ornament in the tree, and whoever finds it first gets a little extra treat or good luck for the year. And so it's really fun to have this stamp set because we could do all year round things, but we can also do fun holiday themed cards too. So here are those coloring stencils, and this is a set of 1, and it's sized to be the same size as the stamp set so that you can easily store them together. And all you need to do is just layer it over your stamped image and add some ink on there with a brush. Now I'm using some jalapeno ink here, which is a perfect color, and I'm using one shade of ink, but just adding a little bit more ink to one side than to another to give it that really beautiful shaded look. And then we can go ahead and work our way down the stencil and fill in the rest of the pickles. And there's etch guidelines that make it really, really easy to line up. So now we can line up the next set here and layer that over the pickles. And I love how easy it is to use these stencils, especially for these pickles. I think it just looks really, really awesome because you can create a really cool shaded look. Now we've been coming out with coloring stencils for a lot of our older favorite sets, and now we have the coloring stencils for the original How You Bean set. So you can layer it right over the jar here and add a little bit of shading onto the jar. Here I used a turquoise color, but later on we're going to use a light green, which is really fun to make the look of pickle juice. Now for the How You Bean stencil, you can see that it fills in the jelly beans that's in the original How You Bean set, and it also has a stencil here that you can layer over on top of the label. And so I'm going to take that same green ink and just add a little bit of ink to the label, making it darker on the outsides to give it that fun rounded look. And so there, I hadn't added quite enough green, so I was able to line my stencil right back up and add a little more green, and you can see how cute that is looking. Now here are the coordinating dies for the stamp set, which you can line up with your stamped images, hold it in place with some low tack tape, then we'll run it through the die cut machine and we'll have perfectly cut out images every time. And then here you can see the images in the set. So we have our pile of pickles and then our individual pickle. And here I wanted to bring in our How You Bean jar so you can see how easy it is to either stamp the pickles in the jar or you can layer the pickles in the jar. And you can see how adorable they are in the jar. It is just so much fun, and I love all the fun puns that go along with them. Or you can also add that cute little label over top, and that is such a fun look too. So now it's time to create with this super cute set. And so we went ahead and stamped out the jar from the How You Bean set, and we're going to use the coloring stencils to add the look of pickle juice into the jar. And so we're going to use some celery stick ink and just use a blending brush here to go over the stencil, making it a little bit darker on the edges and then lighter towards the center. Then we can take the coordinating die and die cut the jar, and then we're going to bring in our How You Bean pickle stamp set. And we're going to take those pickles that we stamped and colored and die cut earlier, and we can add them into the jar, which is so cute with that green pickle juice color. Then we also went ahead and stamped and colored in that little label, and now we're going to stamp the word pickles in some green ink, which looks so cute on the label. And we also went ahead and stamped and colored the lid for the jar too. And so now we can start to layer all these pieces. So we're going to add some adhesive onto the lid, and we're going to layer that onto the jar, and then we can layer the cute little pickles into the jar and then put the label over top of them, which is such a fun look. And then we're going to start working on the base of the card. And right now we are recreating a card by Grace. So thank you so much, Grace. Next, we're going to die cut some storm cloud cardstock with the largest of the outside in stitched rectangles. And then we're going to take out some of the favorite flannel fall paper, and we're going to be cutting that with our stitched rounded rectangles. We're going to use the largest of the small stitched rounded rectangles. And so we're going to die cut some of this favorite flannel fall paper, and of course we're going to use some of the green paper here because that's going to be a perfect match for our pickles. And then we're also going to use this really pretty neutral that comes in the new All the Sparkles paper, and I love that stripe. It's so pretty and it's a nice match to that plaid. And so we die cut them with the same rectangle, but we're just going to trim a little bit off the bottom here to be the ground of the stripe piece, and we're just going to layer that over our favorite flannel piece. Then here, there's this fun little part that comes in our scallop fringe die. It's like a little die that has just a rectangle with a stitch line through that, and we're going to layer that where those two papers meet. I always think this looks like a little baseboard or something. So we're making a floor and creating like a little baseboard, and that's where our jar is going to be sitting. And so we're going to layer that, and then we can just go ahead and trim off any of the excess on the edges of here of the rectangle. Then we can add some tape runner onto the back of this whole piece, and we're going to layer that onto our storm cloud cardstock. And I really like this look. I think it's really sharp with all of those dark grays with that green plaid. Next, we're going to do some stamping, and there's the sentiment that says you're kind of a big deal, and we're actually going to cut our stamp so that we're only stamping your kind of because the big deal part, we're going to do that with some die cut letters. So we're going to stamp that onto some craft cardstock, and then we're going to die cut that with a sentiment banner die, and then we're also going to die cut some cilantro cardstock here also out of that beautiful same banner, and then we can layer the two together to create this fun little shadow effect that I think is so pretty. And then we're going to take out an oldie but a goodie. It's our Kohl's ABCs dies, and we're going to be die cutting both some noble fir and some algae cardstock, and we're going to die cut that from this cute alphabet. And I like these letters so much, and we're going to die cut both of them so that we can layer them together to create that similar kind of shadow effect. So we'll add some adhesive to the back of one of the letters, and we're going to use the darker letter over top, and then the lighter one is going to be the shadow. And doesn't that look so neat? And so we're going to repeat the same thing with all of these die cut letters. And then we can start to layer our sentiment onto the card base. And I love this mixture of stamped letters and then die cut letters. I just think it's so fun. And so now we've got "You're kind of a big deal," and that's going to be at the top here. And so we're going to layer all of those shadowed letters over top of the plaid. And I love all of the different shades of green. Then once we have those on there, we're going to take a white gel pen and just add some cute little details onto the letters. Little lines and little dots around the curves at the top of the letters just really make them pop off the card and make them feel kind of cartoony and three-dimensional in such a fun way. Since we added some white gel pen details to the letters, we're going to do the same thing with our jar of pickles, just adding some white gel pen details to the top of the jar and also onto the pickles and around the jar to give it that fun shine look. Then we can add some foam squares to the back of the jar to give it a nice pop, and then we're going to layer that right onto the card. And this is already looking so cute. Then we're going to take out two other little pickles that are going to have their fun little smiley faces. We're going to add some white gel pen details to those and then layer them on either side of the jar. And with the smiley faces, they are just too funny. Now next we're going to die cut some hearts from the Hearts and Stars skinny tag, and we're going to die cut those from some lobster cardstock. We'll add some little white gel pen details to those and little drops of glue onto the card, and we're going to pick them up with our pick up pokey tool here and just layer them around, and that little pop of red just makes it so cute. Then we can add some tape runner to the back of this panel and layer it onto a standard size card base. And now this card is all done, and oh my goodness, it just makes me smile. I love this jar of pickles. It's just too funny. We've been talking about doing it for so long, and I think it's just so adorable. And next up, Shari is going to show us how to take this set and bring it into the holidays. So take it away, Shari.
So I am creating a Christmas card using the new How You Bean Pickle add-on and the All the Santa hats. We're going to make some Christmas pickles. I also have some music notes from the Caroling Mice and a little speech bubble from All the Speech Bubbles, and that is for the little Merry Christmas sentiment that is in All the Santa hats. So I've already colored and cut out my images, and I'll set those aside. For the sentiment, I'm using the sentiment that says, "Have a delightful holiday." And I just think that's a really fun, punny sentiment for these pickles. So I'll just pick this up with my acrylic block and stamp this on a sentiment banner. Now I am going to trim off this sentiment banner here in just a little bit and show you a fun little technique to make a different looking banner. I'm also using the new All the Sparkles Petite paper pack for my card. I'm using this red stripe and this green with the foil stars, and I'm going to cut that out with the largest of the outside and stitch rectangles. For the stripes, I'm using this stitch rectangle that fits inside the lacy rectangle, and I just think that this is some perfect traditional Christmas colors with that white frame and those reds and those greens, and it's going to go great with these green pickles. So I'm putting my background piece on my card base with the outside in stitch rectangle. I get that white border, so I have a white border that matches my lacy rectangle border. And before I put this panel onto my card, I am going to wrap my card with some twine. So I'm using some lime green twine so it stands out on that darker green. I wrapped it around 3 times and trimmed it off, and I'm going to tie a bow over here on the left side, and you're just seeing me check to make sure I have it over far enough to where it peeks out right beside my lacy rectangle. So I'll just tie that in a bow, get that nice and tight, and trim off the excess so I have a nice little bow there. Now I want to make sure I avoid that twine with my foam, so I always like to make like a little channel through the center where the twine will be and make sure the foam is above and below it. And then I can add my little framed panel where my pickles are going to go. Now back to the sentiment, I'm trimming off those fishtail banners to make a square, and then I have a skinnier sentiment banner that I am going to layer behind so that we still get the fishtails, but they're a little smaller, so they kind of look like they're in the background. And I wanted to pop it up, but just so slightly, so what I did was I took another banner, trimmed off the tails, and I'm just using the thickness of another piece of cardstock to kind of pop that up a little bit. Then I can pop up the whole banner onto this little frame. So I'm just adding that strip of foam, and now this whole banner is popped up, and that center part is just slightly popped with some extra cardstock. Now I need to make these pickles Christmas and in the Christmas spirit, so that is where the cute little Santa hats come in. And I love that there are different styles and different sizes of Santa hats, and I used almost all of them in this little choir of pickles that I'm creating today. Now, of course, I want these popped up too, just like my sentiment banner, so I've put some foam squares all over the back, and I will add these to my card. They look great on that red striped paper. Now, of course, I called it a choir of pickles because I have some music notes to add and that little sentiment in the little sentiment bubble. So I'm just adding that with some foam, and then I will add the music notes with a little bit of liquid glue. I think my question is, what would you do if some caroling pickles showed up at your door? Now to add a little more sparkle, I have the sequin mix stars cut from gold sparkle cardstock, and I'm just figuring out their placement. I'm using a variety of sizes, and once I figure out where they go, I will just pick them up with my pickup tool and drop them back in place on a little dot of glue. And I actually added one more of the little small ones right onto the banner, which I just think is a really fun little detail. And then, of course, we need some sparkle on our pickles, so I added glitter to the white details of all the Santa hats. And then here's my finished card with the How You Bean Pickle add-on, all the Santa hats, and the All the Sparkles paper. It's just delightful.
It is absolutely delightful. Oh my goodness. So cute, Shari. I love this card so much. And next up, we have some incredible projects for the design team. And these star treat boxes by Elena are so cute. I love how she added the little snowman with his top hat and scarf. It's so sweet. And I love how she stamped the magic holiday messages in the center of the star. Here, Melissa's layout using the new All the Sparkles paper is so beautiful. I think it's so cute with all those little circles and sweet photos. Tammy's delightful holiday card is too fun. I just love the pickles with the Santa hats. It's just so sweet. And then Letitia's cat boxes here using our new Cozy Cat stamp set are too cute. I love how she layered a circle onto the star boxes and featured a cute little cat on each one. Megan made a super cute You're Kind of a Big Deal card, and I love the colors that she used. They are just so much fun. And then Audrey made some super cute boxes for all different kinds of occasions. We have one here with Santa that's perfect for Christmas. We have a super cute cake box that inspired me to make mine today, and then also a new baby star box, which I think is such a cute use for this box. This card by Lynette is too much fun. I love how she added the twine to the top of the jar. I can't wait to try something like that. And then this box here by Shari is so much fun, and I love how she added that cute tiny tag on there. It's a perfect match for the treat box. This card by Mindy is too cute. I love that they're all singing with the lamppost in the background. It's just adorable. And then here, Elise, I love the I Thank My Lucky Stars for You theme for these boxes. Oh my gosh, I want to make ones just like it. I think they turned out so adorable. This box here by Mindy is so fun, and I love how she used our winter bird stamp set and that cute little bow at the top of her star treat box. And then this is the card by Grace that inspired us to make ours today. I love how she added sunglasses onto her pickles. This box by Yanea is so pretty. I love the inking that she did on the box and the cute little reindeer and Merry Christmas banner. And then this card by Maureen is too much fun. I love the little guy standing on the top of the jar. And then Shari's treat box with the cute little sweet Christmas mice is so adorable, and I love how she added the string to the top to make it an ornament. So we cannot wait to see all of your star treat boxes, your all the sparkle cards, and all of your pickle cards too, so make sure to share them with us. And thank you so much for watching today, and we hope you have an absolutely awesome and delightful day. Bye!